Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and in the background you hear my Cricut working because it is cutting out something I'm going to use for this Bible journal entry. So I am looking at the new Knowledge Notes set from Kelly Bangs. She has been releasing these every month this year, just focusing on different keys in the Bible. We've done, a whole array of them. And what they are great study notes. It's kind of like back in the day when I used to study for tests, I would write everything on 3x5 index cards and review those notes. That's kind of like what these are. They are the cliff notes to some of the most foundational parts of the Bible that we can reference. And so you take them, you print them out. I have mine like this. I keep mine in a little school bus truck thing where I can reach for them anytime I'm studying. And this month they focus on the creation timeline. So we have the actual timeline right here. We have the opening notes from Kelly, and then it goes through each day, day 1 through 7. And it's going to be good. It's just a nice look at the timeline. So I'm going to use those notes and I'm going to do some journaling within my Bible right at the beginning in the book of Genesis. So I will link everything that I end up using down below. Otherwise, I'll put you guys on fast forward. Let's go. I have documented the creation timeline, I think, in every Bible journal that I have ever had. I think it is just a really great lesson. It's a great anchor, a great way to start off any Bible journal just in general. And B, I think it's a beautiful thing to document. So this time around, this is an image that I cut out, as I said, with my Cricut. I cut it out in vinyl. And I am going to use washi tape. So I have been super into my washi tape recently, and I'm putting washi tape down on a white piece of paper, and each color of washi tape is going to reflect one of the days of creation. So we are starting with day 1, which is night and day. So I have a bright yellow, and then I'm going to bring in this black washi tape, which happens to have lost its stick. So on the side, I'm just going to use some adhesive on the side so that it will stick, because I do want to use it. But that's sad. I'm always sad when my washi tape loses its stick. We forget that there are craft supplies that can kind of just go bad in a way. So the stick is gone on that one. That's sad. For day 2, the atmosphere, I was going to use this color, but then I changed my mind. I kind of changed my mind several times throughout this process on which washi tape I thought would be best. We're going to go with the stars right here. I know day 2 is not when he created the stars, but I thought they were pretty representative of the atmosphere. So that's why we're going to put this blue star pattern as number 2. For day 3, dry land and plants. This is some of my favorite washi tape from Illustrated Faith from a few years ago with Revival Camp. So that'll be number 3. For number 4, the sun, moon, and stars, I happen to have a beautiful washi tape that has the clouds and the stars, and I think it is gorgeous. So that will represent that particular day. For day 5, I went back and forth on what I wanted to use as day 5, but I did find this cute washi tape that has all these birds on it, and day 5 was the water animals and birds, so that'll be perfect. And then day 6, this is washi tape from Jane Davenport, and it has a bunch of women on it, and day 6 is of course when God created land animals, man and woman. I have sped this up for your benefit, but I struggled a lot getting this image onto the washi tape. Speaking of supplies going bad, this happens to be Paper Studio brand permanent vinyl, but I also think that it has lost its stick because it was there for a while. So I'm using transfer tape, which should have worked really well. I know transfer tape doesn't work well on things like paper, but the washi tape should not have affected it, and it didn't. It was just that the vinyl would not stick to the washi tape. And so it was a huge struggle. It took a long time. It took a lot of my patience, but eventually I did get this image onto the paper with the washi tape in the background, and then I'm going to trim out the whole thing. And what I've done is basically just create a huge paper piece. In all actuality, the vinyl wasn't sticking well to the washi tape. It just wasn't super sticky. I know the washi tape is kind of slick, but it should have still worked. So what I did was, after I cut it out, I actually took it over to my counter and I added Mod Podge on the top just to seal everything down to make sure it would stay, because I don't want to open my Bible and see the world falling apart, which would, be very ominous. So we're going to use Mod Podge, cover the whole thing in Mod Podge before I put it into the Bible, and that should secure it. Let me know if you have had permanent vinyl go bad like this, or was it just user error? I don't think it was user error. I think it was the vinyl. Like I said, it's the Paper Studio brand from Hobby Lobby, and it just didn't work out well for me. So took the whole thing, put on some Mod Podge, and then it was a little bit easier to use after that. Because I have this huge blank page, I thought it would be fun to do some mixed media. So we're going to pull out some Distress Oxide sprays. I pulled out a couple of different blues. One is one of the Midnight Blues. It's a newer color. In fact, this was the first time I've used it. We're going to put that down and then dry that. And then I'm coming back with Speckled Egg. At first I thought I would layer Speckled Egg, but it wasn't really showing up. So I want to dry this mostly, not all the way. And then we'll come back with Speckled Egg over the top just to add a little bit more dimension. And then we're going to play with some gloss spray. So this is my favorite way to use the gloss sprays, is to just open it up and add some splatters. So we're going to add some white splatters, which I think really make the blue pop. And then of course I'm going to bring in a little bit of the gold kind of metallic looking splatter. So that will go over the top of that particular one. Love how it came out. It's just a cool background. I love doing mixed media. It's super easy, super fun. Gonna dry that whole piece really well, and now I'm ready to add my world. Ta-da! I love that Kelly chose the creation timeline to reflect on in her knowledge notes. Of course, it is a story that we have learned since we were little. If you grew up in the church, you learned the creation timeline. And I would even think that perhaps if you didn't grow up in the church, you still kind of learned the creation timeline just in our culture. It's one of those Bible stories that is really ingrained in our society. But I think taking some time to reflect on it and how God chose the order, how God created the different things in this world to be dependent on each other and dependent on Him. I think they're definitely worth reflecting on, and we're spending time studying. So I think that's a great subject matter that Kelly chose for these notes. And if you've been picking up the knowledge notes all year, you're definitely going to want to pick up this set. If you haven't been picking up the knowledge notes all year, they are all still in the Illustrated Faith print and pray shop. So you can pick them all up at any time, print them out. And like I said, they're just really great reference cards as you're sitting down and studying some different subjects. So you can see I'm adding some alpha stickers. These are from Illustrated Faith from a kit a while ago, and we're just adding the title in the beginning. And I'm not actually going to put journaling on this page. I'm going to kind of have this be the introduction, and then as I take notes and study, I can journal on the opposite page. And that will be it for this entry. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. Like I said before, I will link all of the supplies that I used down below. You can catch all of the knowledge notes set in the Illustrated Faith print and pray shop. I want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. We are enjoying faith journaling together through the month of October. It's never too late to join us. So if you want to come check out our faith journaling focus this month, then check out the link in the Patreon. Check out the link in the description box below to Patreon. All right. I hope that you all have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.